This is God Rock. Welcome to God Rock, your weekly dose of music and motivation.
No stairway. Denied.
Crank it up. Shake the heavens.
You get to stand there and read at Sodom and Gomorrah. I had to do all the work.
What work did you do? You lit a few fires.
I rained down sulfur, man. There's a subtle difference.
You're listening to God Rock. You're listening to God Rock.
So this morning, going to be talking about what could be considered a sensitive subject for a lot of people, and that subject is the subject of marriage. I got an email the other day, and I'm going to paraphrase some of this because it's real deep and personal, and I don't want to give out any names or anyone's situation because, you know, this could probably be any one of us at any point in time during a marriage. Basically, the email says, "Hey, Captain, my wife and I are having a lot of problems lately. Seems things are getting worse day by day, and no matter what we do, just can't seem to get past this hump. Can God Rock save my marriage?" Now, if you've heard the promo that I've been running this week, the answer to that is no. I cannot save a marriage. But I'm saying that not in the context that I refuse to try, but I am willing to give advice. I really am. But I can't save something that I'm actually not a part of. You can save your marriage, and what I'm going to do this morning is I'm going to give some advice, not just for this listener, but anyone out there who may be going through a rough patch in their wedded bliss. Now, in the idea of full disclosure, this morning I'm going to give some advice from my point of view, and I'm not a licensed marriage counselor or anything like that. So feel free to take my advice as you would a Chinese buffet. You can take what you want, or you can take none of it. It's completely opinion and up to you if you decide to listen to what I've got to say. We go into a marriage thinking that we've got it all figured out, and then you start sleeping in separate rooms, interlocked in continuous arguments, and find that the intimacy is gone as well. Now, no marriage is perfect, and we all know it takes work and commitment. The good news is, if there is someone wanting to fight for the marriage, and I believe you are, or you wouldn't have emailed me on this, believe it or not, there is hope. Joe Beam is the founder of something called Marriage Helper, and his suggestion, what he writes: "Today, the popular idea that divorce is a fact of life is being challenged vigorously. Saving marriages is not a job, it's an all-consuming passion, and every marriage saved is a testimony that the mission can be accomplished." As soon as your relationship begins to flounder, I think one of the critical things to do is evaluate the faith and the values of which it was founded upon. For example, if going to church has become less of a priority, make sure it becomes the number one priority again. Make your faith and your valuables non-compromisable. Make all other things less important than remembering what came and should come first in your relationship. Faith is always a core attribute. It's one of the most important reasons that relationships maintain their strength. Try spending some time together and reconnect and find out why it is that you came together in the first place. To keep any relationship going, it's important to get alone together. Do something that you love doing together and remember the reasons that you even started dating in the first place. Sometimes in life we go on autopilot and forget to spend quality time together. Making goals as a team will help that relationship become more fluid, and it'll make you much stronger. Having shared dreams like saving for a vacation or saving for a home also can help you reconstruct what it is you're trying to do with your marriage. One of the things nowadays, though, is we live in a digital age, and for some things it's really great. We're more connected to information than we've ever been in history, and in some ways it's not so great. It's partly because with our smartphones, that information is right in front of us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's tough to escape, and I think we've lost a lot of communication skills that our parents and generations before had. We just don't talk anymore. We stick our heads in our phones or our computers, and we get lost in our own little worlds. Communication can be tricky enough because couples take their spouses for granted. Oftentimes, they'll have excuses such as, well, we live together, I see him or her every day, and talking to your spouse is everything in a relationship. They need to know everything about you, your fears, your goals, your hopes, your dreams. Communication is the most effective way to connect with each other. And what you've got to do in a marriage is, man, you got to set aside that time. Even if it's at the end of the day, you've just got to set aside some time to talk. Not text, not FaceTime, not that. Talk. And it's not just about talking when I talk about communication. It's being an active listener as well. This means no distractions. Put the phone down. Stop cleaning. Stop cooking while you're talking. Stop watching TV. Another effective way of communicating is to not assume anything, as it leads to jumping to the wrong conclusions. Too much of that happens nowadays because we're so distracted. When you're communicating with your partner, if you have any doubt about what has been said, or you're just not sure what she or he is talking about, or what's making them upset, stop and ask. Stop and ask. But first and most importantly, put that stupid phone, that iPad, turn the TV, turn it off. Turn it off and communicate. It really is that simple. The email I got used the word save, but I want to say fix. Save sounds to me a little bit one-sided and way too heroic, kind of, Sylvester Stallone-ish, Die Hard-ish, something like that. Fixing something, though, whether it's a car or a computer or a marriage, takes time and needs to be done right. Save, to me, sounds kind of like, selfish. And selfishness is one thing that can throw more of a monkey wrench into your problems than bringing an actual solution. The Bible warns us about being selfish. Philippians 2, chapters 3 and 4, explained that to do nothing from selfishness or empty conceit, but with humility of mind regard one another as more important than yourselves. Do not merely look out for your own personal interests, but also for the interests of others. When we start looking to make our spouse happy, rather than focus on ourselves all the time, that can help build and mend some bridges. Selfishness could be that you spend more time with your friends or on your job than you do with your own spouse. And over time, people tend to start resenting things that you place above them. And that happens in marriage so often these days. Since I don't know any of you out there, I'm going to ask, or your status. I know some of you, but I don't know your marital status. I'm going to ask this question. When was the last time that you really showed your appreciation towards your spouse? Sit them down and tell them about the blessing that they've been to you. It'll be hard at first to do it if you've never done it, but once you make it a practice, it can change the trajectory of your relationship. Relationships really do need a lot of attention, so making your spouse's favorite meal, making them coffee in the morning, or even writing a little thank you card to show them that they're important means something. Leave notes, send flowers, buy a little gift. It really doesn't take a lot or a lot of money to show somebody that you really do appreciate them. And sometimes, a person not even aware of how they're acting tend to want to turn away from you if you bring problems up. If you're dealing with a spouse that's hot-headed, and if the conversation becomes heated and you need to take a break, take the approach of being humble, walk away, and then seek forgiveness. When we do this, we take down the walls. If you commit to God and your mate, you will wrestle with the forces of darkness. That is going to happen because we've talked about this in show after show after show that the devil tests the righteous all the time. It's his game. It's what he does. He pokes. Ephesians 6:12 declares, "For we're not fighting against flesh and blood enemies, but against evil rulers and authorities of the unseen world, against mighty powers in this dark world, and against evil spirits in the heavenly places." When you seek forgiveness and ask for forgiveness, you will also experience healing. And that works on so many levels. Including marriage. Most importantly, things like that. The best advice I can really give you to fix your marriage and avoid walking up to the edge is this. Find a good marriage counselor. One that truly has the degree for this. Now, I'm not anywhere near that person. I can give you my advice where a counselor can really, truly give you help. What you need to do is find neutral ground. And a counselor can assist you to become more unbiased and set goals to help repair the hurt in your life and your marriage. There's nothing wrong with soliciting guidance, and there are Christian counselors out there as well. In fact, when you seek that guidance, it shows that you really do want the marriage to work. You gotta stop pointing fingers. It doesn't matter at this point in time who did what wrong. If you're agreeing to fix your marriage, then both parties gotta ditch that blame. Each person's slate has to be wiped clean, and the couple agree not to bring up those past events. It's impossible to move forward towards the future if you're going to continue to hold on to the past. And I know it can be tricky depending on the situation. That's where that counselor comes in. You can discuss frustrations with a licensed person who will allow things to get checked and balanced. balanced. In many cases, words get lost in translation, and we've all been there. Therefore, both parties being present will alleviate any potential misunderstandings, and you'll come out having a fresh outlook, and that will be extremely helpful to fixing the problem.
God Rock is a presentation of Two Legit Productions and KKBS Radio, heard weekly on this station. God Rock is copyright MLS Communications. Questions, comments, concerns? Email us, godrock@kkbs.com.
You've got prayers.